Hi everyone, this is Dr. Renee of Transcendent Heart Life Coaching coming to you in this busy holiday season. And I'm just sitting here in my living room, surrounded by my Christmas tree right behind us here. And I did a Facebook Live video earlier today, and it prompted me to want to do this video for YouTube as well. I'm getting ready to launch my parenting series at the beginning of the year called Heart and Soul Parenting. A lot of individuals have been asking me over the last several months for very specific advice in how to raise emotionally healthy, emotionally intelligent young people. And they asked me what I teach in my classes and how I've come to know what I know. And people often comment, I'm so grateful, thank you, for what amazing, intelligent, emotionally savvy little people that I have as my children. And I tell them that, trust me, a lot of that is just them, but it really did come from a lot of heart and soul parenting and learning along the way. But what I want to talk to you a little bit about today, most specifically, is the fact that we often take for granted how our children learn to become emotionally intelligent people. And what we know from Daniel Goleman, obviously, is that there are these 5 specific dimensions of emotional intelligence that individuals either have or don't have. But I know for a fact that because we are such social creatures, that our children watch us. Our every move, everything that we say, our facial expressions, I'm very dramatic sometimes, our body language, how we interact with others, how we treat other people, how we respond when other people treat us in very specific ways. And that's how they come to know and be emotional processors and emotional regulators. And that's the one area that I'm an expert in, is emotion regulation, emotion management, and coping. And some parents often ask me, why does my child always overreact about this one thing? Why can't they just see that this is a little issue, not a big issue? Some things are definitely genetic. We know that there's the big 5 personalities, but overall, it has a lot to do with how you respond. And I know people get offended by that. And I've heard it all. Oh, Renee, you don't know. My kid's not like me. And then I'll go and observe and I'll just go, okay. So we have to take accountability. We have to be responsible for the fact that our children pick up, as I always say, they're the best and the worst of us, right? And so we want to teach them how to be emotionally intelligent, emotionally savvy individuals, particularly at the holiday season. Right now it's busy. Right? We're driving around like crazy people, last minute shopping some more and shopping some more. We're trying to get the menu together, maybe even possibly, food prepping already. Some of us are traveling, family coming in. It's really stressful. And we often forget about the emotional needs of our little people. So my son is here with me today to actually kind of share with us some of the things that he thinks about at this time of year, and how he feels about, specific things that go on. And, one of the things, say hi.
Hi.
One of the things is my son Alex, I know for sure, is that my Alex is very sensitive. So is my Olivia. And there are things that they process and they take personally when they happen, as he's kind of hiding behind me. And sometimes it's very difficult to have the conversation and remind him that this thing wasn't directed at him or it's not about you. And how do you have that conversation versus, yelling and arguing at him that he shouldn't take it personally? He will always take it personally. That's just who he is. He internalizes information and processes it in a very different way. But one of the things to be able to validate his emotions is so critical. To say, we may just process things differently, and for you it feels like this, and for me it feels this way. It doesn't make what you're feeling wrong or what I feel you should feel as right. And validating their emotions is first and foremost really critical in helping them to become intelligent people. And why is that? Because again, think about your own self, that when people validate that what you feel is what you feel, whether they like it or not, it's a sense of comfort to say someone is at least acknowledging me and my presence and saying, I see that you're upset. But that is something we often take for granted with the little people. We're so busy with ourselves, and then they get upset because of the busy holiday season, and they're rushed around, and they're hungry, and they're tired, and their little legs are just exhausted from all the walking that we're asking them to do, or they're around a bunch of family that they don't get to see the rest of the year, and it's fun for a little while, and then they're tired. They're learning how to navigate and negotiate and communicate with people that they don't regularly do so, and we have such high expectations that they should just do this right. They should just know how to do this. They don't. Little children do not come equipped with knowing how to do that. They look to us as their guides, as their compass, to be able to show them how to interact with people. And so if you're frustrated and flustered while you're driving and you're yelling at the road and people are cutting you off, or traffic is annoying, or the weather is scary, they're going to hear that. Now, one of the things that I also mention to people is I'm all about emotional authenticity. I don't agree in lying about how you're feeling to your children. And some people may disagree with that, and that's absolutely okay. But for me, emotional authenticity is an absolute critical pillar in my coaching program. And so working with young children, they get to learn how to be emotionally authentic individuals, which means I exist, how I feel is real, and how I process my emotions determines the success that I have in how people respond to me and how I feel about my feelings. So think about that for a little bit. I know that's a little complex, and I'm going to be having that activity actually in my workbook that's coming out in January. And so if you spend some time with them and say, I want you to become an emotionally authentic individual, and in doing that, you have to be honest about how you feel. And that means to be comfortable communicating with me with how you feel. And next, I want you to also realize that how you feel is real. That even if I disagree with how you feel right now, know that you have every right to feel how you feel, and I will acknowledge that for you. And trust me, when you do those two things right there with your children, they are going to calm down tremendously, and they will begin to hear you. And then you can start to have the conversation about why they feel the way that they do. We'll also have some activities in the Heart and Soul Parenting Workbook on helping your children identify the 6 universal emotions, what those look like, how they feel, because sometimes very young children often don't know what fear feels like. They don't know when they're frustrated. They don't know when they're, kind of a little bit anxious, not just scared. And they don't know the difference in those types of emotions. So my Heart and Soul Parenting program will definitely be spending some time and having activities to help your children identify those emotions, and then helping them learn emotional management techniques and how to regulate their emotions as well. So, again, this is a busy holiday season, and it's why I kind of wanted to have this little chair-side chat by my tree with you, just to introduce the Heart and Soul Parenting program, talk a little bit about some of the thoughts that I've been having, recently as I've been driving around and having my kids do all these different things with me, and Alex is currently bowling in the living room with me right now, and just acknowledging that everything's going to be fine. Everything always works out. And as long as we're together and we continue to communicate and share, this is exactly what it's about. So this is Dr. Renee for Transcendent Heart Life Coaching. Thanking you again for always being here with me. This is my sweet son, Alex. Say hi.
Hi.
Wishing you a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa,
Birthmas.
Happy Birthmas, Happy New Year. And again, look to my website, www.transcendentheart.com, for more information on the Heart and Soul Parenting Program. Thank you.